With that said, let's just go ahead and hop straight into the Green Squadron game report and just check out the news from the week. Starting out, we have Square Enix announcing the next game from Yoko Taro, the game director and developer on the Nier series. He's working on a new tactical RPG card game called Voice of Cards: The Isle of Dragon's Roar. Not really a lot is known about this. There was just a very small teaser trailer, and I think there's probably going to be more information from Tokyo Game Show about this, but nothing really known about that. You know, nothing much else is really known about that, so yeah. Up next, Epic Games is looking to appeal the California judgment that said Apple did not break any antitrust laws. They basically believe that the indictment, or sorry, not the indictment, the injunction that the judge put in place over Apple to allow their developers to actually put a link in their apps to outside sources was not enough. So they're trying to appeal that judgment and see what they can do to get a more friendly judgment in Epic Games' favor. Up next, the creative director behind Insomniac Games' new Wolverine title has confirmed via Twitter that the game is going to be a full game. It's not just a standalone DLC, and that it is going to have a mature tone. What specifically that means, I don't know, but it is nice to hear that it is in fact a full game, considering that the trailer they put out was really just a small teaser and had zero details at all about the game. Although, to be fair, I do wonder about whether or not people actually thought it was just a standalone DLC or if it was going to be a full game, so I don't know. But apparently it was a thing on Twitter, so there's that. Netflix, they've announced that they have cast Haley Atwell from Captain America fame as Peggy Carter. They've cast her for the role of Lara Croft for their upcoming Tomb Raider anime on Netflix. I think that's actually going to be cool. I really like her voice, and her voice, I think, for Lara Croft would really work very well. So I think that's actually a very good decision on Netflix's part to do that. There we go. Okay, so developers working on Little Big Planet 3, they have decided to shut down their servers for PlayStation 3. In fact, it's not really just Little Big Planet 3, it's all the Little Big Planets, right? Anything from Little Big Planet 1, 2, or 3 in terms of their content, they've decided to shut down, or not content, their player-created content that they had on their servers. They've decided to shut down those servers due to some, some DDoS attacks and then, quote-unquote, hate speech nonsense. And they decided it'd be better just to shut down the servers completely and not deal with it, and instead just deal with only the PS4 servers. So, yeah. Okay, Darkest Dungeon 2. If any of you are fans of the first Darkest Dungeon game, well, Darkest Dungeon 2 is now coming to the Epic Store as an early access game, and it'll be available on October 25th. Dying Light, they have delayed, the developers behind it, have delayed the game from December 7th until February 4th, 2022. In their statement, it was essentially to give developers more time to polish and optimize the game for release. So hopefully they'll actually be able to do that and not worry too much about any further issues, but we'll see. I mean, the whole COVID restrictions have caused a whole bunch of delays, so I can understand why they would need to do that, so it's understandable. PlayStation September system update, which includes some quality of life changes, including game sorting and menu changes, also adds the ability to add on an internal SSD drive to the PlayStation 5, in particular like M.2 drives that are available for PCs. You can now use those for your PlayStation 5 storage upgrade as well, which is pretty cool. I think you do have to match some certain specs, and I don't really know the specifics on that because I don't have a PlayStation 5. So I'm not entirely sure on all the specifics, but I think it's pretty cool that they're allowing you to do that. Okay, up next, Nintendo Switch. From PlayStation to their mortal enemies, the Nintendo. But Nintendo Switch, they just released an update for the Nintendo Switch that allows the Switch to actually connect to Bluetooth devices, in particular Bluetooth headsets. So that now you don't have to worry about using a wired headset in order to play with your Nintendo Switch. Now you can actually hook up excuse me, a Bluetooth headset to your Switch. Now it does seem a little bit limited from what I've read, but it works, and particularly if you're handheld on your own and you just want to have that headset in, it seems like it's going to work pretty well. However, along with that announcement, not at the same time, but around the same week, Nintendo did announce a price cut for the Switch. For European markets only. That's right, if you're in Europe, you no longer have to pay 330 euros. Instead, the price is now cut down to 270. That's a 60 euro difference, which is pretty cool. However, Nintendo has confirmed that they have no plans on bringing that same price cut to the US markets. So that is kind of douchey with Nintendo. So, yeah. Always love Nintendo. They always seem to give me that sort of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back type of thing. So, yeah. Anywho, Anthony Mackie, the guy who played Falcon in Winter Soldier and the Falcon and Captain America Civil War and the recent Avengers films, he has been cast in Sony's new Twisted Metal live-action series. No one's really sure as to when the series is going to come out, and for me this seems kind of weird because Twisted Metal has never really been that much of a story game. But they've said that they've cast him as a character called John Doe, and there's not really a lot of other details besides that. So, yeah. I think it's kind of weird that they're making a Twisted Metal series in the first place. I think they announced it back in February or March of this year. But still, I just think it's just super weird that they're even making a series from it. It just makes no sense. It's just a dumb, fun, arcade driving, shooting game. I don't see the need for an actual story for this. So it's an interesting decision, Sony, particularly when there's so many other great titles in your wheelhouse to actually make a TV series of, that you're going to go with Twisted Metal of all things. But anyway, we won't harp on them too much right now. Battlefield 2042. Their release date has been pushed back. They've pushed it back from October to November 19th, 2021. It doesn't really bother me. It's a 1 month pushback, and it'll give them a chance to maybe get some things nailed down in terms of their server status and in terms of, some other stuff. So hopefully they'll be able to fix it. But my guess is that it'll still have a rough launch no matter what, because every Battlefield has had a little bit of a rough launch. Somehow EA always seems to underestimate how popular the game will be when it launches, and there will always be some sort of server connectivity problems right on launch. So just keep that in mind, no matter what's going to happen. What does irritate me, though, is that they're having a bunch of people online who have been making comparisons to Cyberpunk, which just, in my opinion, just seems really annoying. It's just outright stupid. I mean, Cyberpunk was an entirely new game with entirely new mechanics and an entirely new engine. So really, they were just having a hard time just trying to, accommodate everything that they had done, and this was an entirely new game. Whereas this is Battlefield. You're not having crazy massive changes from Battlefield 3 to 4 to 5. The biggest differences is weapons and environment. So I don't think you're going to get anywhere near the same problems as Cyberpunk. I just think it's dumb that people are making that comparison. Anywho, along the same lines as associated with Battlefield 2042, the community manager Freeman has announced via Twitter that the early access for the game will be available on November 12th, a week before launch. But they have still yet to actually give a date for the open access, or the open beta, that is planned beforehand. They've been talking about it for a long time, that they will in fact put out an open beta, so there can be some balancing and fixing of the weapons and everything. And unfortunately, we are still unaware of when there's an open beta that'll actually hit for Battlefield 2042. There has been some rumors that the open beta will hit sometime in late September, early October. But let's be honest, time is running out quick, so they better they better launch the open beta soon. Fans of Undertale will be excited at this news. The second chapter of Deltarune, the sequel / spiritual successor to Undertale, is being released today, in fact, at 8 p.m. Eastern. So it is, in fact, live already. So if you guys are a fan of Undertale, their second game, Deltarune, is out. They have had the first chapter out for a while, but the second chapter is releasing today. You guys go check it out. Please leave the stream open. Go check it out on Steam or something, and yeah. But yeah, anyone who's excited for it, I'm pretty happy for you guys, because people who made Undertale made a pretty good game, so I'm figuring Deltarune's going to be along the same lines. Lastly, Sega and Atlus have announced via a new website that they will be revealing a new RPG at the Tokyo Game Show on October 1st. The website is essentially just a shell site with a video that has a very short little intro scene that shows off some characters drawn in some very nice and artistic ways overlooking a cliff, and that's it. Zero details besides that, but always cool to see a new Atlus RPG. So yeah, something to look forward to on October 1st with the Tokyo Game Show. And that, everybody, is your Green Squadron game report for September 17th, 2021. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip from my podcast, Green Squadron TV. If you'd like to watch the full podcast, you can check it out at the link down below in the description. And if you'd like to watch it live, you can follow me at twitch.tv/green_leader87. I stream it there live every Friday night at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Thanks for watching.